Good evening, everyone. I'm Nestor Lecanto. Attorney Mike Phillips' Supreme Court appeal of the Dave Davis case just got a little harder, but the lawyer tasked with taking Guam's case to the nation's highest court says he still would have accepted even if he knew then what he knows now. Chris Barnett has more.
Attorney Mike Phillips has hit a speed bump before he even hit the road in his Supreme Court appeal of the Dave Davis case. Just yesterday, Phillips told KUAM he would first file for an extension to give him time to prepare his arguments. But about that extension,
the deadline was passed, and I learned that yesterday, and I think it occurred sometime last week.
The deadline to file for an extension passed on October 18th, 3 days after Governor Leon Guerrero asked Attorney General Levan Camacho to appoint Phillips as a special assistant AG to carry the Davis case forward. And now it looks like the ball was dropped before Phillips even got to carry it.
I don't have any information at all regarding what happened and what might have allowed for that time to slip.
Now Phillips has to convince Supreme Court Associate Justice Elena Kagan that extraordinary circumstances led to Guam missing the extension deadline. Kagan is the Supreme Court's circuit justice for the Ninth Circuit.
You have to convince that one Supreme Court justice, in essence, to give you the break.
And Phillips says to make that argument, he has to get to the bottom of what happened, and more importantly, what didn't happen.
I really don't know the facts of what happened, and unfortunately that's probably a necessary part of determining whether there's extraordinary circumstances.
And just what did happen? For starters, the AG's office confirmed it didn't file a request for extension. When we asked if the AG advised the governor that the extension deadline was coming up, AG spokesperson Carlina Chapfer said that would be covered under attorney-client privilege. When we asked Carlo Branch, the governor's director of policy, if the AG informed the governor about a looming deadline to file the extension, he said, quote, "I don't know if she was informed by the AG." It's also unclear what role, if any, Adelup legal counsels Haig Hyun and Sofia Diaz had in the chain of events. Chapfer has said the AG found out about the governor's decision to appeal the case on Monday night, after her special address calling for the AG to appoint Phillips to handle the Davis appeal. Phillips said the governor called him shortly before the address to ask him to take the case. And while Governor Leon Guerrero asked AG Levan Camacho to appoint Phillips, Phillips said he hasn't heard from the AG about that appointment, and today says he was told the AG is off island. But Phillips says in order to make his extraordinary circumstances argument, he'll have to get to the bottom of what really happened.
I'll start with the attorneys and probably move from there.
We asked Phillips if anyone should be held accountable for missing an important deadline in the historic Davis case.
That's not just above my pay grade. That's outside my my pay grade. If that's really up to others. I have nothing to do with that, nor do I have a comment.
Phillips is barred to practice in the Supreme Court and says if Justice Kagan agrees with Guam's extraordinary circumstances, Guam would get 60 days to come up with an appeal argument. And if his motion is denied,
as far as I know, that would mean it'd be completely over.
We asked Phillips if he would still have wanted the case if he knew the deadline for filing an extension had already passed.
It's not the battle, it's the cause. And you can't walk away from the cause, in my opinion. You have to appeal. And if you find out that it's even more difficult than just an appeal, then you got to do it.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The only other option would be for Guam to file the actual appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, but that would give Phillips, depending on when the AG moves on his appointment, just a few days to make the argument on why the Supreme Court should consider Guam's historical case. The deadline to file an appeal petition is on Monday. A follow-up to the stiff fine imposed on the military for using swimming pool tablets to clean the drinking water for base residents. The Air Force has finally been ordered to pay up.
It's official. The Guam Environmental Protection Agency has given the Air Force until mid-November to pay an $83,700 penalty.
I think the penalty is justified.
In January, Guam EPA issued the Air Force a notice of violation after it discovered the military was using swimming pool chlorinating tablets, defined as a pesticide on Guam, to purify drinking water for base residents. Guam EPA had been reviewing more than a year and a half's worth of daily logs provided by the base to determine how many days they were using the tablets and in violation. The penalties are based on the number of days of noncompliance per violation. On this case, the military faced a maximum statutory penalty of $1,700 per day per violation. Guam EPA spokesperson Nick Lee.
In our findings, considering that this is the first time that an incident like this occurred, considering the population that the water system served, we were able to find that an appropriate amount of $180 a day would suffice based on the violation.
In September, the Air Force initially agreed to pay a penalty of $51,000. However, Guam EPA responded that they had considered the information the base provided regarding the number of customers served and the number of days of violation. Guam EPA also considered the military's continued cooperation in returning to compliance. Based on that, the fine was issued for $83,700.
There was some discussion about the days of compliance, and it came out to over 400 something days where they were out of compliance. There was 2 periods where we calculated it based on the logs that were submitted back in April. So there was some deliberation also on how to close out the NOV, in terms of would we consider a SEP from the base, and ultimately in the end to expedite the closure of the notice, a straight up penalty was considered.
The deadline for the Air Force to pay the penalty, November 15th. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The government opposes former police officer Mark Torrey Jr.'s motion to dismiss the amended indictment. Earlier this month, Torrey pled not guilty to the amended indictment that charges him with negligent homicide as a third-degree felony. According to court documents, Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley argues that they are authorized to change an indictment before any verdict or finding. And despite certain evidence being suppressed, there is competent evidence from 2015 that supports a finding of probable cause. In addition, an indictment can be amended to add a lesser included offense without being brought before a grand jury, as negligent homicide is lesser included offense to manslaughter. Torrey is accused for the 2015 fatal shooting of fellow police officer Albert Piolo. He was in the second try of the case. He has asserted his right to a speedy trial, and a further proceedings hearing was previously scheduled for October 31st. More from Superior Court. The 2 DepCorp escapees appeared before their arraignment before Judge Jonathan KUAM and both pled not guilty. Defendants Johnny Del Rosario and Johnny Atali were indicted for felony escape as third-degree felonies. The duo walked out of the halfway house, entered a car, and were free for about 12 hours before they self-surrendered. Del Rosario asserted his right to a speedy trial and waived a reading of the indictment. As for Atalig, he waived his rights to a speedy trial and reading of the indictment. An internal affairs investigation is still being conducted by police. The defendant's next court hearing is scheduled for October 31st before Judge Arthur Barcenas. The government and the defense have rested their respective cases in the trial of 3 former Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority board members. But defense counsel Curtis Vandeveld requested for the disqualification of one of the jurors. Vandeveld represents defendant Cecil Suda. He said he noticed the juror kept looking at him with a disapproved expression during the lengthy playback of a December 27, 2011 board meeting audio recording. Co-defense counsel Sam Tecker said he noted a similar reaction from the same juror during his opening statements.
And I believe that he has been prejudiced by the comments of the court relative to the duration of the playback. I think he felt that somehow my presentation of evidence on behalf of my client was improper, and that's why he kept giving me disapproving looks throughout the recording of throughout the playback that were unsigned.
In response, Judge Anita Sokola told Vandeveld, "Indeed, some of your behavior was not exactly civil, and if you want to deem that as a scolding, I understand your position, but I want you to know you were not in order." However, the judge granted the request and ordered the juror be removed and replaced by an alternate. Jury instructions are scheduled for October 28th, followed by closing statements on October 30th. Entering the new fiscal year with $1 million gap that needs to be filled. The Guam Department of Education's most recent board meeting focused on that difficult position that they're faced with. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
We have an aging report on some of the vendors that we owe, and some of it's 90 days plus.
Over 3 months, and major vendors of the Guam Department of Education have not received their payments because when the cash doesn't come in, then it cannot flow out, explains Guam Education Board Chairman Mark Mendiola.
I informed the board that we were severely shorted with the Territorial Education Facility Fund, about $2.1 million, and the department is doing everything it can to meet its vendor obligations. Every year there's always this projections, and usually we don't get that full funding from the Territorial Education Facilities Fund, which is tied to property taxes. And so there's a certain amount of time where they collect these taxes, and it's given to the Department of Education. So that's where the cash flow comes in. How do you manage based on these appropriations?
This has led the department into the 2020 budget cycle in a hole. According to GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez, they owe about $7 million in outstanding amounts to vendor payables.
When we get shorted, when we have a $2.1 million shortfall, you'll see it on this payable list because it's $2.7 million of billings that are 60 days and over. If we had that money, we could pay and bring ourselves better up to date with the vendors. There are some vendors who won't do business with DOE because of similar situations. They can't go 90 days without getting paid.
When GDOE gets shorted, then the impact falls on vendors. And Mendiola added that this is a common issue the department has run into near the end of each fiscal year and has become a balancing act for the Department of Education.
That's a big burden to carry on, but you want to definitely pay that debt down. And, if you got, money that's coming in from the government general fund, I would think that, we can get that additional support.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Meanwhile, Education Superintendent John Fernandez received the 2019 Professor John M. Phillips Excellence in Government Accountability Award. It was announced at the Association of Government Accountants Guam Chapter's General Membership meeting this afternoon. The annual award recognizes a government professional for outstanding leadership and who holds high ethical standards. It's named after the late Professor Phillips. The Phillips family presented Fernandez with the award.
I was very humbled by the selection. Makes me want to do more, and I feel like I need to do more to live up to it. But I was also touched. I know that given in honor of Professor John Phillips, who passed away earlier this year. Obviously a pillar in this accounting community. It was nice to see his family here.
After receiving the award, Fernandez spoke to the AGA chapter on GDOE's finances. This included a presentation on budget challenges and an update on the department's push to be removed from high-risk standing. Stick around for more news here on Primetime right after this break.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Okay. Can I meet Alan, please?
Attention passengers of flight AJ3004, your flight has been delayed.
It's the flavor that makes you go, woo. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Made with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken.
Available in 4, 6, or 10-piece chicken tenders. Try the spicy barbecue crispy chicken sandwich too.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back, everyone. The agenda is set for next week's legislative session. Senators added 5 bills and announced that several others would be introduced on the floor. The measures include creating new protections against elderly abuse, reestablishing a Guam film office, and imposing new regulations on exterior on-site signage. Before the meeting ended, though, Senator Jim Moylan again raised the issue of a drug-free policy for the legislature, and again he got pushback from Rules Chair Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee. She says while she understands that the public may be upset that drugs and corruption continue to plague the island, imposing suspicionless drug testing would be unconstitutional.
I don't begrudge you, Senator Moylan, or the public for wanting proof that we are doing all that we can to keep the legislature free of illegal drugs and that we are not spending taxpayer dollars paying employees who abuse illegal drugs. So I just want to make this very clear and place this on the record that all of us senators have a duty and already have the power to do this.
Senators will also consider a number of board and commission appointments during the October session, which is scheduled for Monday morning. The latest draft of the Consolidated Revenue and Expenditure Report, known as the CRER, shows the government took in $22.4 million more in fiscal 2019 than what it projected. In the cover letter to the Speaker for the required report, Budget Director Lester Carlson wrote that the amounts reflected are subject to internal audit and analysis and therefore are subject to change. He goes on to write that stakeholders are cautioned that the report is not an accurate reflection of the financial position of GovGuam. The report lists the $22 million as a favorable increase. In an interview earlier this month, the governor was also careful not to characterize such excess funds as a surplus.
We don't really have a surplus in the financial terms of surplus, because a surplus occurs when you have no deficit and you have more revenues, and that certainly is not our case. I came into this administration with an $89 million deficit, and what I would like to do is to retire that deficit and pay down our debt so we can then have the availability of more cash flow so that we can provide more of the public services to our people.
Tracking for the fiscal year, which ended September 30, shows revenues of $798.06 million collected versus $775.62 million projected and officially adopted. If you come across a letter from Legislative Appropriations Chairman Joe San Agustin about investing in a cannabis operation, it's a scam. The senator's office sent out a news release warning that several constituents have seen the letter, purportedly sent to a high-ranking U.S. official concerning a transfer of currency. San Agustin says the letter wasn't even on his official stationery. He's asking anyone who may have received it to contact his office via email at senatorjoessanagustin@gmail.com. Our Think Pink series continues. Tonight we introduce you to a breast cancer survivor who attributes her recovery to friends, family, and fitness.
Think Pink Together, Guam, brought to you by KUAM Communications in partnership with American Cancer Society, Island Cancer Center, and Guam Service Pros.
It was in 1981, when Lelaine Consolacion was only 18 years old, that she had to undergo surgery due to a cyst in her left breast.
7 years after that, I have another surgery. And 7 years after that is another surgery. So my breast has been, cut open for different years.
The soon-to-be 56-year-old, who has been a long-time cosmetologist for over 34 years and an energetic Zumba instructor for 3 years, said it was during an annual mammogram in October of 2015 when they noticed something wasn't right. She would have a biopsy in January of 2016.
They asked for a CT scan, and then when the CT scan result came back, they said that, we suspected that you have cancer on both of your breasts, right? So we need to do another needle aspiration on your left breast, because it was on the left breast and then right breast.
While this was happening, her dad was battling lung cancer. He would pass away on March 8th, and then 2 days later, Lelaine would find out she had breast cancer.
Of course, I have to wait for my father's funeral before I did my surgery. So April 1st of 2016 when I had my double mastectomy.
Lelaine has been cancer-free for 3 years and continues to take medication. And while it does help her, there have been some side effects.
They said the medicine doesn't do anything, but I lost a lot of my hair. I used to have long hair, but I keep chopping it because it keeps falling down. And then the side effect of it is, hot flashes and irritation, mood swing. That's number one.
She admits it was extremely tough when she returned from the Philippines after surgery. At the time, she had a salon, but had difficulty performing her usual tasks and making rent. She admits this was a hard time for her.
I would keep myself in one corner. My husband's like, what do you want me to do? I said, just leave me alone. You know, losing something in your body is a big thing. You know, I felt like half of myself is gone. It's like I don't want to get out of the community anymore, you know. I just want to be at home. And my husband said, you have to go Zumba.
She credits the unwavering support of a wonderful husband, children, good friends with incredible hearts for helping her get through it all.
Think Pink Together, Guam, brought to you by KUAM Communications in partnership with American Cancer Society, Island Cancer Center, and Guam Service Pros.
Double D's up next with sports. Don't go away.
Choose, press, play. Check out the latest flicks at home on Docomo Pacific View It On Demand, powered by TiVo. Here's our top picks for the month. Choose, press, play, and enjoy endless entertainment with View It On Demand, powered by TiVo on Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Make every day a plus.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the circus is coming. The Super American Circus is coming to Guam. UOG Calvo Fieldhouse, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. Starring Guinness World Record holder Blake Wallenda, the greatest high wire walker on the planet. The incredible Mario Espana on the Wheel of Danger. Aerialists, balancers, jugglers, dancers, fire eaters, acrobats, hilarious clowns, and stars from America's Got Talent. Witness Superheroes Live, an amazing cast of performers from around the world. Come on, come all to the Super American Circus. 3 days only, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. To purchase tickets, visit superamericancircus.com and like our Facebook page for a chance to win tickets.
Special thanks to Burger King. KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. In studio, Billy Navarrete. And we're talking about the OCR Worlds that you recently competed in London. All 5 events in the books for you.
Yes, I competed in all 5 events for the OCRWC, the World Championship for obstacle course racing. We had a 3K, we had a 15-kilometer, we had a 100-meter sprint, and we also had a team relay race as well as a 7K race.
Well, let's get to it, man. Right. Some nice hardware you brought home.
Yes, so this is the 3K medal. Basically, there were about 30-plus obstacles that we had to go through within a 3-kilometer race. It was very intense, high speed. It was more like a warm-up for me for the bigger event, which is the 15-kilometer race. That one was the most brutal race that I've ever done. For the 3-kilometer race, I actually placed around the 50% range of competitors. for my age division. And then for the 15-kilometer race, I placed around like more of the 100 plus competitors. But the thing is, the 15 kilometers, it's no joke.
It's a long distance.
It's a really long distance, and you're running through mud, you're running through trail, you're running through the cold, and you have to get into this really cold water area with obstacles and everything. And you're just going in and out of cold water, and I think that was the most challenging part of the obstacle course for me, because, you know, here on Guam, we're so accustomed to the humidity, the heat, but when you're out there in London, we were competing at 11 degrees, you know, coming in and out of water with the wind chill and everything, and crazy mud that's just as thick as, like, I don't know, Champorado or something. You know, it's crazy. But that was the most grueling race I've ever done. Halfway through the race, I thought I was gonna die because I felt so hypothermic. And it was just so brutal. But I'm glad I got through it. You know, I had the rest of the other Guam guys and Saipan guys cheering me on throughout that race. And then the third day, we had the team relay race, the one with the blue. So this is the medal right here. We formed a team of 3. We had 3 different portions of the race. We had the speed portion, we had the strength portion, we also had the technical portion, which is more about the obstacles.
And Guam, we finished 11th out of 60.
We finished 11th place out of 60 pro men division racers.
Hey, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
on your performance out there. Before we go, let's take a look at some girls' high school volleyball championship highlights from last night. The Notre Dame Royals stepped onto the UOG Cowell Fieldhouse court looking for a three-peat in girls' high school volleyball. The two-time defending IIAAG champs needed a team effort to put away the St. John's Knights in 4 sets. ND was down 18-13 in the first before going on a 7-2 run to tie the set at 20. The Royals would eventually close out the set 25-23. St. John's Tylee Shepard helped the Knights build a 7-3 lead in the second set. Teammate Holly Wixton put down an ace as St. John's led 19-17 and went on to take the set 25-22. Both teams had their fair share of serving errors throughout the championship match, but ND had the slight edge. Ostia Mendiola and Minami Rabago started to power down some shots as the game went on. The Royals would take the third set 26-24. Freshman Faith Piper played a great game at the net for ND. Teammates Nicolette Perez, Michaela Connolly, Gia Camacho, and Michaela Genero all did their part and contributed in the win as the Lady Royals took the fourth set 25-22 to secure the three-peat.
This means so much because we lost a lot this season, including Gabby, our setter, so we had to move around and fix ourselves to make us championship worthy, and it's just like a big motivator for us next year.
I think the fact that we just, we never gave up and we just kept pushing forward and we didn't let mistakes like overcome us.
The feeling, it never changes. It means just as much every year, especially this year, after we've gone through everything we've gone through. And winning tonight, we just knew that it would take us all as a team coming together and just cutting down personal errors and communicating and never giving up. And yeah, we knew if we came here and did that and played like us, we would get away with the win.
Mark is the best husband and father you could ask for.
Right, mi amor?
My brother, he's just a big kid.
Great guy. Best man at my wedding. Just gotta keep him off the dance floor.
Uncle Mark's the best. He taught me how to seal a base.
He stopped by yesterday just to chat.
Honestly, this place would fall apart without him.
the Holiday Pledge is definitely like an extension of the Holiday spirit, which is all about family. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. I wear this uniform. I'm definitely proud of my job and what we do. I not only live it in the uniform, but outside of the uniform as well. It's definitely a way of life. I live the Holiday Pledge every day of my life.
Hi, I'm Normani Corday, and my mom is a breast cancer survivor. You can increase your chances of finding breast cancer early when it's easier to treat by getting your regular mammograms. So please talk to your doctor today and see if you're due for your mammogram. Early detection through regular mammograms can save lives like my mom. Learn more from the American Cancer Society at cancer.org/breast cancer screening or call 1-800-227-2345.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
There are 2 birthday shout-outs we want to make on this Hump Day Wednesday, so get your vocal cords ready and say it with me now, everybody. Happy birthday to Rose Sablon Kunik. Shout out coming from the Makshut Mangafa clan, wishing you a very happy and blessed birthday with many more to come. We love you to the moon and back. Rose, we hope you had a fantastic day. And happy birthday to John Taitigui. With lots of love, respect, and admiration coming from your wife, your kids, your grandkids, and that's on Guam and in California. Each and every one of them says, we love you and have a great day. And on that note, hope everybody out there with a birthday today had a great day.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo, your name, and birthday. And that'll do it for us here on the news desk. But stay tuned. Jason's up next with Extra.
Hi and Hafide everybody, I'm Jason Salas and thank you so much for watching KU News Extra. Right off the top, we're going to get into a really cool story from our friends at Guam Animals in Need, otherwise known as GAIN. So I am Jason. You know Cece. She is with GAIN. Hafide, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, welcome back to your place on the couch and everything like that. But truly the star of the show today is this little wonderful bundle of joy that you have brought here. Who is this?
This is Little Jones. He is one of our longest residents on our D row, which is our adopted row for adults. He's about 2 years old, and he came dressed in a costume today for Halloween.
Well, thank you for wearing that bow. That's very festive. You know, you're maybe about 4 weeks early and everything, but there's nothing cool with that. Punctuality is good here on Guam. We like that. Okay, so Little Jones, he's 2 years in people years, right?
In people years,
so
yes.
So he's 14 in dog years.
So he's 14 in dog years.
Very nice.
So we are estimating that this is as big as he's going to get. So he's a perfect little package for any good home. He is great with people. He has had many kennel mates at this point. He currently has a mate named Shiloh, so he's really versatile. We use him a lot for, I personally use him a lot for my training when I'm training new volunteers. So he's just a great dog, really relaxed. As you can tell, he's probably not going to move from this spot. He's very entertained.
Okay, I was going to say, now, we've done interviews with many members of different animal species here over the years, particularly dogs. And dogs have a tendency, and you guys watching this in TV land can't see this, but there's lights, there's a bunch of people in the studio, everybody's hustling about and everything. That makes dogs tend to be nervous.
Yes.
He is as cool as a cucumber right now.
Nope, he's
so when he's around the house, if you're playing music, if the kids are doing like video games, if
Exactly. So
he's going to be super cool.
Yeah. So when we walk the dogs, all of them get really excited, and Little Jones just kind of comes up to the gate and he's like, I'm ready to go.
And now he's exploring, all right. So, yeah. Feel free to check us out here in Harmon. You are our featured guest today. Okay, so how has he not been adopted at this point if he's such a wonderful addition to the family?
I don't know. I think just he is brown and he is short-legged, which is very common for the species here on Guam, the Guam boonies. And I think that he's just so mellow that people just don't notice that he's there half the time.
Well, he's very chill, and I can see him actually being a wonderful companion for perhaps elderly people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So he would do good for anybody. I particularly would suggest somebody with kids because he just loves little kiddos, and he's so gentle and docile with them. When we have them at our shelter, we just recently on Friday had a field trip of 50 8th graders come into our shelter, and he was just a little magic bean for us. He was so calm, and like I said, he's so versatile, so we can take him with literally almost every dog on our row. So he's just ready to go to a good home and not be out in the hot sun with us anymore.
Okay, and also, you cannot fake that reaction right
Nope.
there. Tail wagging, we don't stage that here at KUAM. If a dog's tail is wagging, that means he's genuinely happy, and there he goes again. Okay, now, Little Jones, you're welcome here at KUAM, but you know, just watch your claws here on the couch. This is Suede, my man. So, okay, so Little Jones is going to be featured as well as all the other animals at Gain because you guys have a Halloween event coming up. Please tell me all about that, Cece.
So this Friday, October 25th, from 5 to 7 in our Gain parking lot, we're going to have a Halloween event, which will, like you said, feature Little Jones and all his other furry friends, hopefully in costume. We'll be walking them about the parking lot as we're doing trunk-or-treat events, so it's definitely something for the whole family. We're going to be having about 10 to 15 trunks outside with candy, toys, goodies, and it's all free to the public. So come one, come all with your family, your furry friends, your neighbors, just bring everybody on down. Because it is a free event, all the games will be free and all the trunk-or-treating will be free. We do ask that the community donate to our high-need items currently, which are non-clumping cat litter, latex gloves, bleach, laundry soap, and wet cat food, which is, like I said, our high need items at the moment. So come out, have a good time, and support a really good cause. We'll have vendors and foods. TGI Friday will be out there selling hot dogs and nachos, which are really yummy, supporting our, like I said, our furry friends out there at the shelter.
Okay, and we want to find Little Jones and all of his cousins, brothers and sisters, everything like that at the kennels, loving, happy, permanent homes. But, you know, if Little Jones is still available, please bring your kids, your grandparents and everything like that. Take a selfie with him because you're a star now, little guy.
Absolutely.
You're on KUAM. Everybody knows who you are.
We will be having a photo booth, again, completely donation-based, that you can take out Little Jones and all his friends, and we'll have fun costume props that you can definitely come out and have your photo taken with all of our furry friends. And like I said, feel free to bring your own pets at home, see how Little Jones does with them, as well as bring them in costume because we will have a pet costume.
I mean, look at that. You said the word photo booth and he immediately just like took a position. Look at his posture. The camera loves him.
Absolutely.
I'm so jealous of you. I've had to work at this 20 years and I still suck at it. Okay, so I do have a question for you, Cece. For families particularly, when they come to the Gain Shelter up in Jigo, right? Like, let's just say hypothetically, like family of 4, mom, dad, Johnny and Sarah, right? They go there and Sarah is immediately drawn to the cats. Johnny likes dogs and everything like that. When you're going around as a family, you know, would you say that the parents pick the pet or the pet chooses the family?
Absolutely, the pet chooses the family.
How do you know which is the right one?
When you know, you just know. So
Okay.
having been adopted 3 animals while I've been here, which is a very short period of time, they just pick you. They really do. So if you do have your kids that are drawn to one or the other, like I said, it's always a family choice, but they'll pick you. So beware, look for the signs. When they act like this and they just want love, it really is the key to having a great family forever pets.
There's no such thing as like eHarmony for pets. You just got to go meet in person, and when you know, you know.
When you know, you know. And absolutely, I do suggest that the whole family comes because it's definitely an experience for the whole family.
And you want the pet to actually experience the family as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Cece, thank you so much. And Little Jones, it was an absolute pleasure. And I would like to say we'd like to have you back as many times as possible, but we want to get you a home. So everybody watching this right now, there we are. Make sure that you adopt Little Jones. It's an absolute delight to add to your home, whether you're a young person, whether you're old. Let's find Little Jones a happy home. And make sure to go to the Halloween event for our friends at Gain. We will be back right after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Open houses from our friends in the military are an island tradition. It is our chance when our friends in uniform get to show us, the civilians, what they do, the equipment they use, the camaraderie they have, their esprit de corps, and just basically everything they do to keep our island and our nation safe. We have Major Jen Aparan along with Major Joe Blas here, and we are talking about the open houses going on with the Guam National Guard. So ladies, Hafaday, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And of course, you know, we can never say this enough. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Okay, so Joe, we talked about this the last time. You know, you've now celebrated like your 1,000th KUM interview.
Right.
So first of all, congratulations. I think we've got a pen for you or something. But I want to go into detail about this right now. So for people that have never been to an open house before, in terms of what they're going to experience, what they'll see, what they'll take away, and everything like that, what can you say to the uninitiated?
Well, what we're doing is we're opening up our gates, as they say. We're opening our gates, and we're inviting the public to come in and see what the National Guard's all about. So we're going to have a job fair because, as you know, about 90% of our members are part-timers. So they have a career outside of the National Guard, and so this is an opportunity for employers who have available openings to look for potential employees. And for our members who may already have a job, this is an opportunity to maybe improve your situation or look for more opportunity. But we're inviting the public to come join them. So besides the job fair, we're also going to have static displays from all our units as well as some of our sister services. In fact, our Lakota helicopters are going to be doing some hoist operations.
I was going to say, now far be it for me to dispute my friends in the military, right? But when you guys say, and Major Aparan, you can jump in here whenever you wish, but when you guys say static displays, it's not like one of those things where you go down to a Ghana shopping center and it's a couple poster boards and some flyers to hand out and everything like that with a couple people like in nice t-shirts. You guys actually bring out literally the big guns. You guys show 50 cals,
absolutely,
helicopters.
absolutely.
That is not static. That is very dynamic.
Well, because besides that, all our recruiters will be out there in full force. So obviously, we're always recruiting. We're always trying to look for people to join the National Guard. And this is one way, if they see the hoist operations, that might inspire them to become a member of the Guard.
And Major, this is something that people will actually be able to identify with because they'll be like, hey, that guy grew up down the street from me, or that's my cousin's uncle's sister's brother-in-law, and that person is very highly trained. They're very motivated, and they've got a very unique set of skills.
So the area is just filled with a lot of static display. I mean, it's huge, but it's not just the static display. We also have vendors that's going to be keeping the kids occupied. We have free rides. We have games, and also we have what's it? The job. So 48?
About 47 right now confirmed employers that will be
Yes.
part of the job fair.
Yes.
Okay. What is the range of those career opportunities like? For the Guard, because a lot of people just think it's like, okay, do I have to go to basic? Can I do the thing where like I serve a couple? I know a lot of people DM us on Instagram all the time and they ask, it's like, if I want to do something for the Guard, how much of a commitment is it? So what are some of the questions you get about
I believe there's 3 year, they can sign up for 3 years. Most of them will sign up for a period of 6 years. So, or a minimum of 6 years. So you go to basic training, you go to, Army calls it AIT, the Air Guards Tech School. You learn your skill, you come back and you serve. And if after your obligation you want to continue, you'd re-enlist.
Okay. What are the age? I'm thinking for myself because I was in ROTC way back. My dad's the oldest of 10. All of my uncles all served in the military in various branches and everything like that. So what are the age requirements and the limitations?
For the Army, you need to join before you're 35 years old, and I believe the Air recently upped the age to 40.
Okay.
So, as long as you can, but if you have prior service, if you served in the Armed Forces and then now you want to come serve in the Guard, obviously you have prior service so you can go right in. And then you probably, if you're changing career fields, they'll send you to tech school or AIT.
Okay.
And for me, the military is always a good option. Of course, I joined much later. I was in my 30s when I decided, hey, I want to serve my country.
And you're already a major now. You're very high up the chain of command.
And I'm almost there for retirement. No, but
we can't wait to call you Colonel Joe when you come in here. Full bird too. We're talking about
that would be nice. But service in the military, it's for my family, it's just like a tradition. From my father, my brother, and my sister, we all served. And, you know, it's just the pride of serving your nation. And if you do it as a weekend warrior, as they call it, that's fine too, because you're still serving and you're gaining additional skills that you can bring back to your employer. So there's nothing wrong with a little bit of service.
Yes.
But Jason, I wanted to mention that this event is drug-free, alcohol-free, tobacco-free, and vaping-free.
Outstanding.
So even if you bring that, if it's in your car, leave it in your car. Come and have a good time, and then you can go back when you're done and do your thing.
Well, because Major, I'm sure you would agree, even though it's an open house and you're literally exposing your operations to us civilians, we're still guests on your property.
Absolutely.
We got to observe your rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this event, it happens or is happening on the 26th, this Saturday.
This Saturday.
And it's from 10 to 4. So there's a lot of things happening within that time from 10 to 4. So we just encourage a lot of, you know, all the public to please come out and see what we have to offer. So
now, most civilians would say, okay, they've passed by that part of Barrigada and they're like, okay, I see like the big sign and it says Guard Readiness Center, and I see the gas station and everything like that. And there isn't that much more to see about the facility and everything. But the property goes way deeper than that. You guys have a lot of things.
Absolutely. It goes way deeper. And in fact, we're working with the Navy right now to get even more land so we can expand even more of our operations.
Is this a guided tour, or is it kind of like, you know, you'll have a sponsor and they'll kind of like show you around?
No, it's wide open. You can go to the job fair, or you can go to the food trucks, or one of the many vendors that we have selling local items. Locally grown items. We have a plant nursery.
Yes, we have crafts, we have the food trucks. We also have, like I said, the rides are free.
For the kids.
The kids. For the kids.
You got the train going around, right?
Yes,
and we have
do.
a train.
Is that the Mofness family who operates that
Yes.
train? Yeah, it's the Mofness family. Yeah,
Yes.
really, really nice people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of parking right within the facility, but if you park far, we'll have a shuttle.
Okay.
That'll be taking them back and forth.
Okay, final question before we go. You guys are actually mullies in real life?
Yes.
In civilian life?
Yes.
You're godmothers to each other's children?
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously, separate branches of service and everything. So do you ever have any like chippiness between, you know, like Army versus Air Force?
Of course. We always have a lot of fun.
We always tease each other.
Okay. Could I get you to possibly sing a couple bars of The Army Goes Rolling Along?
Oh my God. No.
Fair enough. Joe, would you favor us with that?
We're good. But, you know,
Off we go
one thing,
into the wild blue yonder.
You're not going to get me. No, but, you know, one thing we've always learned, and we always tell people, you know, you have to be a team in order to succeed. So whether you're in the same branch or different branches, we work together, joint ops. And, you know, our theme, in fact, is one team, one military, one community. So, you know, we just want to show the community that we're with, you know, all of our members are within the community, but we're still part of the community, even though we're wearing this uniform.
Well, we are very much looking forward to covering that for you. So thanks for your time once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you on base.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll see you right after this.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO